I'm now going to continue my video series on memory with an internet story. I placed a hyperlink to this story in the description below. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to pause this video. I want you to then read the story, and then I want you to come back here and I'll tell you what to do next. I can wait. Okay. Now that you've read this story, I will assist you in remembering the important details. Okay, so how are we going to remember the man's name? Well, we're going to remember the words rich, limping son. In our minds, his name is Rich Limping Son. And he gambled to become rich. And that will tell you where he came from. Okay? Now, he is as old as a nun. You say, well, why would we have to remember a nun? Because if you're using the numerical techniques that was taught in that book that I told you about in my featured video, then you would know why we were using the word nun to remember his age. That's right. The nun will represent his age. The word nun will do that. Okay? You think it won't, but it will. All right. Now, what's his lawyer's name? Well, all you have to do is imagine a marlin fish with a big duck bill. Let me say that again. His last name is a marlin fish, but he has a big duck bill, and the bill part is his first name. Okay? Now, I'm sure all of you could come up with some kind of a way to remember the name Linda. Okay? But the question is, how are you going to remember her last name? Well, Linda was floating down a river, okay, and she eventually landed herself in a nest. You say, why do we have to remember a bird's nest? Because if you can picture a bird's nest with a great big letter M on it, that will represent the year that she passed away. And yes, I'm referring to that book that I referred to you in my featured video. So now you know exactly what I'm talking about. Okay, so we have Linda. She's floating down a river. She lands herself in a nest, and the nest represents the year that she passed away. And the river represents her last name. Okay. So, hopefully that will help you remember the big details in this story. And by doing so, you will be far more interesting of a conversationalist when you're standing around the water cooler at work, or you're at a party and you're trying to discuss things, that kind of thing, or if you're just hanging around with your friends. You will make a far more interesting conversationalist, and people will start paying attention to you because of it. See what I mean? All right. Well, this is Ted the Speed Learner signing off. I will tell you more in a future video, so I want you to stay tuned.